I grew up using iPods when I was a kid through middle and high school, whether it was an iPod Classic or Touch. I was downloading music, changing the properties of the MP3 files to make the files look as if I purchased them directly from iTunes. I was a very much try-hard then, and I still do follow like the same steps in regards to the properties and just making them look nice in my own standards that I like developed for myself way back then. I would add the files to iTunes and add the album art again, to make them look pretty on my Apple devices. Whether, it was trying to make it look like I purchased a song or to make a song that's not even on iTunes, that's purchasable, to make it go with wherever I downloaded that song from, like whether it was like a song from YouTube. There's like no cover photo for this song. I would just use like the thumbnail of that YouTube video for the cover, because it's like I personally associate that song with that cover type beat, So my earliest memory of using Spotify was on the computer in 2013. I had the app on my Android phone, and I would stream music from Spotify and listen to ads until my senior year of high school, when I got my first job and started paying for premium. I stopped updating music on my iPod Touch after I graduated high school. For a while now, I've been wanting an iPod Classic from seeing all the different kinds of mods people were doing on theirs online. I completely forgot about the two iPod Classics I have in my possession because they were put away and neither of them were in working condition. One of them has 30 gigabytes of storage, and that one would turn on when plugged in but couldn't hold a charge to connect to iTunes. It needed a battery replacement, which I ended up doing myself, and it worked. It was really fun to go through iTunes and save all the old music I forgot about in a Spotify playlist. The other one has 80 gigabytes of storage, and that one shows no life when plugged in. I don't know what's wrong with it. Maybe it needs a new battery, but I haven't tried fixing that one yet. I'll hold that off for a potential future project. And both of those iPods are 5th generation. I use SoundCloud sometimes too, but I don't pay for their features to have an ad-free listening experience because Spotify already costs too much monthly with their prices increasing. I've been thinking about music archiving lately because artists and labels can remove songs from streaming anytime they want. In my iTunes, I have a bunch of music that I have purchased over the years. I think if and when you can directly support your favorite artist, you should. There is music online that isn't on Spotify or where you're able to purchase it directly through iTunes. I listen to artists who have SoundCloud exclusive tracks, for example, and those I download using a site. I have a huge CD collection, and I want to get an external CD drive for my laptop so I can import music I purchased physically in iTunes so I can add it to my iPod. I initially wanted to spend as little as possible to change the front and back plates, along with the click wheel and center button. That's why I purchased a set that included all those parts on AliExpress for $23.85. An added bonus is that the set I purchased came with a black dog plastic bezel and tools that I used to unscrew the screws that connected the front plate to the frame. While I was on AliExpress, I looked for a better tool to open my iPod Classic because I previously used tweezers since the original plates were busted up. I purchased a flat steel opening tool for under $1. My items were shipping from China, so it took longer for them to come in the mail. As I was waiting for my packages to arrive, I realized that I wanted a black audio, head jack, and hold switch to go with my aesthetic I wanted for my iPod Classic. I didn't want to wait longer to do the modification, so I purchased a new thin black audio headphone jack and hold switch with a set of screws for $14.99 from Elite Obsolete Electronics. I didn't get the set of screws in my package. When I opened it, I didn't mind enough to reach out because I was locked in while doing the modification. I just used the screws that were part of my original iPod. I also purchased a red double-sided adhesive tape from Elite Obsolete Electronics that I needed to keep my battery in place for $3.79. Elite Obsolete Electronics were nice to include a free steel opening tool in my package, which I wasn't expecting. The total amount I spent was $53.35, including shipping. The prices for used iPods that are untested with problems online go for an insane amount in my opinion. I know they are sought after, especially as the modding community continues to grow. It's really expensive to get an iPod right now, whether it's modded or not in a working condition. It's a huge investment in the year 2024, and that's why I wanted to learn how to mod my own iPod to save myself some money. It's really not that hard with the resources available online. I suggest trying to mod your own iPod if you have one laying around that probably needs a new battery, if anything. I suggest starting there. That's what I did. I was like, okay, I'm going to try to change the battery. That's something my past self is like, I'm too lazy. I don't want to learn how to do that. I'd rather pay someone to do that for me. But if you take the time to educate yourself on how to do it, it's really not that hard or complex as it may seem from the surface. So I definitely suggest watching videos of opening iPod Classic, the process of opening it and then replacing the battery. That's where I started. That's what I did first before I bought all these parts to change the outer appearance of my iPod. So while I was doing the modification, I was very excited once I got the last package for my iPod, and I just wanted to get into it. So I went through it, with an impatient mind, in the sense of that I was watching videos, and I had seen videos prior to this, but this was my first time doing performing the modification while watching videos, and I just was so excited. I just wanted to open it up, get everything replaced so I could have the iPod I wanted in regards with the new faceplate and click wheel. I was super excited. So I did mess up when it came to removing that black piece from the front plate. I didn't know I was supposed to keep the black around the borders, but it makes sense why it's there, after I did that. That's something I learned while doing. So it's okay to make mistakes. I know my mistake left a cosmetic effect to my iPod, but I don't mind it that much to be oh, I need to go buy a new one, or I need to fix it, or that it's ugly or ruined. It's whatever. It was my first time doing this. I wanted a blue iPod. I have a blue iPod, so those are my standards, really, I guess, in regards to that. So I'm fine with it. I'm okay that, there's some light from the LED coming through or visible from the faceplate. It's okay. I like having access to a huge music library online through my subscription with Spotify, and I like listening to music that isn't available on streaming services on my iPod. I want to continue to archive and have my favorite music files with the original cover art and title from sites like SoundCloud on my computer, just in case they become quote-unquote lost media. I want to continue to purchase music from iTunes that I can't buy physically in order to support the artist I like, and to also, once again, own the music I like, because whether or not it's Spotify or iTunes, an artist can remove a track and it, be removed from purchase point and also be removed from streaming. In this digital age, we should preserve physical and digital media and keep our files on our external or internal hard drives. You never know when an underground artist you like no longer wants a past project available online anymore and deletes it from the internet. That's what I was referring to earlier with thinking with an archiving mindset lately. So I've been making time here and there to download songs I like, songs that weren't officially released, and songs that were deleted by the artist. Thank you for watching this video. I just wanted to yap about music and show the modification I did on my 5th generation iPod Video Classic.